Alright, so this is going to be the opening of the console video. Currently getting all these security bit screws out of here. And of course I have to twist them a little bit so we can free the screws without breaking the stainless. This one is UN294218259. So this one is a mystery one because usually they put the code stamps on these things, but I think it's the later ones that don't have them anymore. I digress. I know the only way you can tell which board it has, some people say it's by the serial number. Other people just say they open it just to look inside. Well, that in the bottom of the case too. Like the original ones, you have 4 of these types of feet. Later ones use 2 of those and 2 of those. So it really depends on which one you get. And also, the way you can tell the difference between consoles is the eject button. This one is more etched on here. The other ones are painted on. Alright, let's go ahead and open this thing. See what it says. That's the RGB version. Nice. A little bit dusty in here, but other than that, this is the SNES a CPU RGB02 board, I believe. Because the only way you can tell is that it still has a separate DSP chips here, the DSP here and SMP here. The later one was the APU one, and the APU replaced both of these chips here, so it's one audio chip for that one. The other difference between this one and this one is the PPU2 version revisions. Now the PPU2 variants, there are different variants. There's the first one, which is A, second one, which is B, and the other one, which is C. This one has the C variant, and the CPU portion is also A and B, or nothing on there, or yeah, A and B. The B variant is actually the more reliable one. The A variant, not so much. Same with the PPU2 AB. Those are not very, what's the word I'm looking for? Reliable. Those things can, and will fail. Alright, so I'm going to plug this in. Place this right on top of my thing here. TV set. Put the game in here. Make sure it's switched off. Plug in the power cable, RF cable, and component cable into this thing. Not sure what channel that thing is set to for the TV set, but I think it's probably channel 3. I just want to test out the unit and make sure it's working right. Hopefully it does. those things, these this PPU and CPU are not as prone to failing unless the capacitors fail. Alright, so I got both sets on. Switch it on. Okay, it shows power, but no video. I think it's because of oh, the dust hits in that cartridge slot, so let's try it again. Look at that, it works. I'm gonna hit the reset button real quick here. Reset button works too. Of course, it shows in the timer presents only, but not in here yet. So yeah, we got a working Super Nintendo. This needs a lot of cleaning, but other than that, it looks pretty good. As the RGB variant is actually a lot better than the this one right here. In terms of encoding of the video, it's certainly a lot better than the APU version. But the one chip is actually the much more superior version of it. So I'm going to give this thing a cleaning. This will be a next video. I just wanted to do a testing, opening it, testing it to make sure it's working. Oh, I didn't attach the controller port. Damn it. Yep. Actually didn't destroy my game save. Okay, good. Controller works too. That's all for now. Alright, so I got another Super Nintendo. And, this one, albeit, is filthy, obviously. Not in bad shape, but it just needs a lot of TLC. And dusting. Alright, so this one, as you can see, has a damaged DC jack, but fortunately I still have the broken one chip board underneath my desk there. So I'm gonna desolder that thing out of there. All those capacitors. Recap this thing. Yeah, this thing is just nasty. Needs some repair. Like I said, the DC jack on is broken. The pins are still there, but you have to finagle the damn thing. This one's UN303 serial number. So let's see which board it has in here. Where's that? Tighten the screws and loosen them, as I learned the hard way. I don't know how many times I'm doing this. I broke standoffs, and we just had a major storm roll through our city just recently, so I left this in my car. Because one, I don't want this thing getting wet, bringing it into the house, and two, just because. Now you may remember the other Super Nintendo they have. This is the SNES or CPU RGB01 board. I'm sorry, 02 board. That one's working fine. I'm just going to have to recap that thing. I cleaned the top shell. Actually, it looks pretty good. I just have to clean the front controller port, the bottom shell. It'll look good as new. This one will get a lot of TLC. Now, the reason why I'm twisting and tightening the screws and loosening them, so that way the standoffs don't break, like I said. I've learned the hard way so many freaking times. Now the only way, there are a couple ways you can tell which motherboard revision you have. The older ones, like that one right there, that's HVC CPU01. That one didn't have like the markings right next to the cartridge slot. Later ones did, starting with the GPM. This one is the SNES CPU APU 01. Yeah, well that's just pretty sad. I had the GPM variant, but unfortunately the GPM variant was very crap and it was very unreliable. So the big question is, will this one work? There's only one way to find out. Go ahead and disconnect the cable from the thing here. And, plug in the Super Nintendo directly to the TV. Just to see if it works. Oh. Actually, let's test it on a Sylvania. I actually knew where the heck I put that remote control for it. I cannot remember where I put that silly thing. Ah, there it is. Well, they never read everything. Alright, turn that on. Eject the Mario cartridge. Plug it into this. Now, remember I said the APU is different between the SNES, between the original SHVC CPU 0X all the way up to the RGB model. Like I said, this one has separate sound chips. This one has one built into it, but the APU version of the Super Nintendo, if my memory serves, has horrible RGB output. It's like the GPM 0X boards. The RGB one has phenomenal picture quality. Okay, I had to turn on for a second. Damn it, I think I blew a fuse. Oh, time to check that fuse. If I blew it, I blew it. I'm done. I should replace that thing. I should have done like a solder a new DC jack on this thing. Damn it, I had it for a second. What the hell? Come on, you piece of shit. Okay, fuse is good, still. Kind of. Not taking a chance with that, so let me go ahead and actually plug in the power cord. Okay, so it kind of works. Okay, so it does work. It just needs its DC jack replaced on it. Fortunately, I have a part for my pull apart section, which is the push that part over there. So I'm going to take this thing apart, replace that thing, and then go from there. And the future of this thing is going to be recapping this thing and making it where it can supply a better RGB output, because from what I'm seeing here, it's horrible. From what I'm hearing here, it's horrible. But it does work. Even though it just needs a DC jack on it. Definitely needs a recap. Good cleaning. And then it should be ready as rain. Same with this thing. Just need to clean the bottom chassis, the front of that, recap, and then it should be good to go. But the system works. This is the RGB02 one. So this one works without a problem. That one works. This one works. I've been having luck with both of these consoles here. Fortunately, there aren't any other issues with it from what I can tell. The video output on both these are a lot better than the SNES CPU GPM01 board that I had, and that one chip board that's over there. Well, of course, the one chip was actually wire damaged, and I almost had it working, but luck ran out, unfortunately. And I'm gonna go pick up another one tomorrow, and then I'm hope for the best for that one, because that one was labeled as the one chip. Hopefully it is the one chip. But so yeah, I got 3 working Super Nintendo consoles. That one that recapped and replaced the top shell actually looks a lot better than it did. And just to play it safe on the original shell, it has. I'll show you what happens when I open the lid here. See a little mechanism right there that holds the cartridge in place, so you don't eject it when the power's on. Later ones had a little sticker on here saying, make sure you turn off the power before you eject the game, because otherwise it'll kill the console. What the hell? Oh, it's still dripping water? I gotta do that some more. Better than that. I think yeah, so this is the SHVC CPU01 board. What you can tell is by the serial number. Well, that and also the decode stamp, which was 1992, week 31. So the system was manufactured let's see, 31st week of 1982. I have to look that up to see, because I know there are 52 weeks in a year. And the reason I replaced the top shell is because the standoffs broke. Well, 3 standoffs broke on the original one. It was so yellow. And my plan is to clean this up a bit more, replace the Super Nintendo sticker that's on here, or replace this part because I have a spare, thankfully. This one works really well. The other issue is obviously I need to clean the inside of this thing again. So, but, well, just only the video part. But sometimes it's actually a little funny. And I thought it was because my TV set, my Sylvania, wasn't accepting the signal. Turned out the cable itself had a lot of crap in it. So yeah, so clean, recap, replace that DC jack, clean and recap. I've already went ahead and took the liberty to clean the eject button, and there's a little bit of crud right there. But I think I might have a spare from that one chip system. I just have to clean that off and then replace it. But other than that, all three consoles are working. This one I've had since 2016. And decided what the heck, I was recap the whole thing because, well, you know, those things are just going to go out anyhow. And I replaced a freaking fuse because I blew it. And I added a little capacitor to the voltage. Well, I also added a brand new voltage regulator on here. And a capacitor because I'm using the original brick. And those things are very notorious. Well, those things have very high hours sometimes. And if they have high hours, it can cause a lot of damage to these things. Which is not good. But I do have the voltage regulator with the capacitor right there, so I'm going to take that one off and slap it on. Actually, has our new capacitor kits online. But for now, it's just cleaning and prepping. Cleaning, repairing, and prepping. And the capacitors on here do actually fail. So you always want to recap these things. The Nintendo 64, on the other hand, didn't need a recap necessarily, except for the power supply. That's the only thing that needs a recap. But anyways, Nintendo 64 works fine. Both of them work fine, rather. So, matter of speaking, I'm just going to go ahead and take this one apart. If I can finagle the darn thing out. There we are. Oh, don't want to lose a spring. Come on here. So yeah, detail the whole thing. And go from there. This thing should be a piece of cake. Yeah, just a little bit of dust. Well, a lot of cleaning on this one. I have to do. And this is yellowed, so I might be able to get away with it by getting it cleaned off, but for now, it's just a matter of taking these things apart, fixing them, and alright. I saw one of these for getting on me. So, I'm going to be doing the cleaning process on these. And, unfortunately, it's going to be off camera. Anyway, I'll show the end results and pictures later on. Alright, so I got another Super Nintendo. This one has the eject button notched out via like a printout or a label or vice versa. And the condition is actually a little bit better than the other ones I have. But front controller ports leave something to be desired. So this one is labeled as a UN234637362 with a date code of, focus you freaking thing, 9327, so 27th week of 1993. So let's go ahead and pop this one open and see which bird reversion this one is. And as usual, twisting the screws to tighten them clockwise, and then counterclockwise them to unscrew them. So that way I can keep all the standoffs. This one is a pain in the arse to get out for some reason. Here we go. Now the only way you can tell which reversion you have for the Super Nintendo, well, a couple of things. One of which is the well, sometimes the serial number is misleading. Sometimes people would just like put different boards in here. So you cannot always depend on that at all. Another way you can tell is the feet itself. On the original one, it had all 4 rubber feet like this type. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So yeah, all 4 black rubber feet. Whereas these ones, you have 2 of them that look like O-rings. And I think those are basically molded in. Okay, so I got all 6 screws out. Let's go ahead and pop this thing off. Here's this SNES 02. So this is SNES CPU GPM 02 revision. But let me do a quick confirmation just to make sure. This thing does need a lot of a clean. This thing needs a huge cleaning. See all the dust bunnies in this thing. Go ahead and pull the switch up and out of the way, and then unscrew these 2 screws that hold on the shield here. Because I believe, like I said, this is the GPM 02 reversion. I have the RGB 02 reversion. I have the APU 01 reversion. The original SHVC CPU 01 revision. And now this one. I had a GPM 01 board. Actually, I still have it, but that board is totally dead. A lot of issues with that thing. No sprites. But ironically, the controller works fine. Metaphorically speaking. So, make sure that you get this thing out of here. And then I'm gonna have to clean this thing anyway. Yep, it's not a CPU GPM 02. Oh, let's see if this thing works. You'll amaze if it does, but cease never wonders. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the power cord and the RF thing on here. Make sure it's set to channel 3, and it is. Wrong way. Damn. This thing also has a broken DC jack. Well, it looks like the ordering our parts again. It's just pretty sad. Well, it works. It turns on, so that's good. So I can go ahead and make sure the controller port works. Yep. Alright, so the system works. Just need to replace the DC jack backing. I think I might have a spare, but I have to take a look. In any event. So yeah, another SNES revision. So now I have 4 of them. The one right there, SHVC CPU 01. SNS CPU GPM 02. SNS CPU RGB 02. Last but not least, SNS CPU APU 01. Hoping to find another classic. The one chip. So I can complete my SNES collection. Not getting the main because Junior. Because those are horrible. Well, actually I need to do some RGB modifications on it, but it is what it is.